Hello, welcome to Mr. Brand's 5th grade everyday math review. In this video, we're going over lesson 6.11, division of decimals by whole numbers. And the first problem we're going to do is 21 and 12 hundredths divided by 8. 21 and 12 hundredths divided by 8. So they're going to ask you to make an estimate, and there's a couple different ways to do that. One is to use, you could call them compatible numbers or friendly numbers. So I'm going to look at my divisor, and I'm going to think of some multiples of 8 that are close to 21. And in this case, 24 is close to that. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I could use 3 for my estimate. Or another way I could think about this is I'm kind of following my regular division problem. So how many groups of 8 can I get from 21? I can't get any. Or excuse me, how many groups of 8 can I get from 2? Can't get any. How many groups of 8 can I get from 21? Well, I can get 2. So I could use 2 as my estimate as well. So I could either use 3 for my estimate or 2 for my estimate. Now, to actually solve this, I'm going to use the traditional method. If you're using other methods, the estimate will help you place your decimal. For the traditional method, to place your decimal, all you need to do is slide your decimal straight up into the problem. It just goes right up, and you can put it right in your answer. So now I just follow the division process as normal for traditional. So how many groups of 8 can I get from 2? 0. And how many can I get from 21? I can get 2. Now I multiplied. 2 times 8 is 16. Then I subtract. 21 subtract 16 is 5. 5 is less than 8. As I'm going through this process, I don't need to worry about the decimal at all, so I can just bring down the 1. So now I have 51. So how many groups of 8 can I get from 51? I can get 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 51 subtract 48 is 3. 3 is less than 8. I can bring down the 2. I didn't do this on the previous step, but some people like to bring their divisor down as they work through these. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. I subtract and I get 0. So my answer for this problem is 2 and 64 hundredths. Okay, my next example problem I'm going to do is 9 and 52 hundredths divided by 7. So to start with my estimate, again, the closest I can get to 9 is a 7. So my estimate for this one is going to be 7 divided by 7, which is 1. Same goes for the other method. I can just, how many groups of 7 are in 9? There's 1. So both ways are going to give me an estimate of 1. And even though I'm going to put that one back, I'm going to erase it for now. So now, working through this traditionally, how many groups of 7 can I get from 9? I can get 1. And I just realized I forgot my decimal. So before I go further, I'm going to slide my decimal just straight up, put that in my answer. So now there's one group of 7 and 9. 1 times 7 is 7. So I subtract and I get 2. 2 is less than 7, so I bring down the 5. How many groups of 7 can I get from 25? Or 25 divided by 7 is going to give me 3. 3 groups of 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. Then I subtract and I get 4. 4 is less than 7. And I bring down the 2. So now I have 42 divided by 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. I subtract and I get 0. So my answer for this problem is 1 and 36 hundredths. Now I'm going to do one more problem here, and I'm going to do just a quick one. 1 and 26 hundredths. And I'm going to divide it by 5. And I'm not going to do an estimate for this one. I'm just going to go through this quickly. So there's something I'd like to show you. So I'll start by putting in my decimal point. 1 divided by 5. Well, I can't get any groups of 5 from 1. So now I look at the 12. How many groups of 5 can I get from 12? I can get 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So I subtract and I get 2. 2 is less than 5. I'll bring down the 6. Now, how many groups of 5 can I get from 26? I can get 5 groups of 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And I subtract and I get 1. Now, depending on your class, you might be do some different things. But in my class, we've talked about how if we've got a decimal, we're not really going to put a remainder. So what do? To keep what I need to do is I'm going to put a 0. I'm going to add that with a different color. I'm going to continue with a different color here. So I'm going to put a 0 here. And I'm going to bring down that 0 and continue my problem. So now I have 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And I subtract and I get 0. When we're doing division with decimals, again, we don't really put remainders. We just keep going until we get a 0 at the end. And depending on what kind of problems your class is doing, your teacher may or may not have you do that. But in case you are doing that, when you get to a spot where you have something left over, you can add a 0, and you could add you can keep going forever essentially. But hopefully that helps. Okay, let's move on to the practice at the bottom. So the first practice we're going to be doing some fraction multiplication with whole numbers. So I've had 2/7 times 21. There's a couple ways of thinking about this. First, we could find the unit fraction of 21. So we could kind of think of 1/7 of 21. And when we're finding the unit fraction of a number, we take the whole number divided by the denominator. So 1/7 of 21 is 3. Once we find that, we can multiply it by the numerator, which is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So 2/7 of 21 is 6. Now, another strategy we could do is turn our whole number into a fraction. So put the 21 over 1, and then we could just multiply like we typically would. 2 times 21 is 42. 7 times 1 is 7. And then I didn't give myself very much space here. But now we can turn this fraction. We can think of the fraction as a division problem. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. So no matter which method we use, you still get the same answer. Okay, the next one we're going to do is 18 times 1/4. And for this one, I'm going to go straight to turning the whole number into a fraction. So 18 over 1. 18 times 1 is 18. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, depending on your class, your teacher might have you just leave it as an improper fraction. But remember, fractions are division problems. So 18 divided by 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. We subtract and we get 2. So we have 4 remainder 2. Our quotient becomes a whole number. Our remainder becomes a numerator. And then our divisor doesn't change. So 18/4 is the same as 4 2/4. If you want to simplify it, you could also write 4 1/2. Thanks for watching the video. Hope it was helpful. If you have questions, make sure to ask your teacher. And have a great rest of your day.